Hello, my name is Tanay Tiwari and welcome to episode number 66 of Buzz This Week. Now, we don't usually number our episodes, but today is Confession Day. We really thought we'd hit a century before petrol did. But on the show this week, the IPL auctions and the changed lives. Surya, Tewatia and Ishan earn their spots. And the Vijay Hasari Trophy 2021 roundup. Watching an IPL auction is an oddly entertaining experience, right? I say oddly because players undergo the hammer for some insane amounts of money. You imagine them in their new teams' jerseys while they imagine houses, sports cars, watches, shoes. Or if you're Glenn Maxwell, you're imagining bitcoins. क्योंकि घर, गाड़ी, जूते, घड़ी ये सब तो पिछले auction के prices से खरीद लिए होंगे. But jokes apart, you can't hold the monies that these players make against them. The auctions are all about demand and supply, and that is exactly what governs the prices. And yet this attention, this money, it does change lives. Look at the stories of Lukman Meriwala and Chetan Sakaria. Meriwala used to weld metal in 2006, and every time he was asked about cricket, he would say, "Apro ne cricket no mail nahi pade," which means cricket is not for us. Chetan Sakaria would double up while being a student at school as a helper at his uncle's bookstore to help his father, who was a goods truck driver and suffered an accident on the job. Come IPL auctions 2021, Lukman Meriwala would go to the Delhi Capitals for his base price of 20 lakhs, while Chetan Sakaria would move to the Rajasthan Royals for 1.2 crore rupees. Then there's the Shah Rukh Khan story. Yes, that name. The big-hitting Tamil Nadu batsman made the most of his time in lockdown, beefed up, became an even bigger power hitter, and he did hit big at the IPL auctions with Punjab Kings, raking up 5+ crores for the Tamil Nadu batsman. But that's not the story. The Veer Zara memes that flooded the internet is also not the story. The story of Shah Rukh Khan is how Dinesh Karthik shared a toolkit of being happy in other people's success. Don't know what I'm talking about? Have a look. And this amazement, this bewilderment was not restricted to just Indian players. It also spread across to other players as well. Kyle Jamieson, Jai Richardson, Riley Meredith, all of them by their own account were flabbergasted, didn't know what to do apart from, of course, converting INR to their respective currencies. They had no clue what was happening, and that is what the IPL auctions do. They change lives. Sometimes there's criticism about whether too much money at too young an age can perhaps corrupt a player's mind or divert their attention, which is all true. But also this money, what it does, this attention, what it does, apart from promising them a financially secure future, is also that it tells a lot of Meriwalas, a lot of Sakarias, a lot of Pandyas, a lot of Shah Rukh Khans out there that cricket is for you. And if you're good enough, there will always be a place here for you. Talk of people being good enough, there was never a question that Suryakumar Yadav wasn't good enough, especially after yet another stellar season in the IPL in 2020. Which is why it was a surprise when he didn't take that flight to Australia with India's white ball squad. Because ये Sky हैं, ये इनका IPL form है और इनको इस पौड़ी का हिस्सा होना चाहिए था. So lo and behold, Suryakumar Yadav has broken into India's T20I squad for the series against England. And Twitter world knew just how big a news this was. But बधाइयां और मिठाइयां सिर्फ सूर्यकुमार यादव के लिए नहीं, ईशान किशन के लिए भी. Who hit a 173 of 94 in the ongoing Vijay Hazare Trophy for Jharkhand and then was selected as a wicketkeeper in India's T20I squad. As was Rahul Tewatia, whose IPL performances weighed in on his selection. Here is how India's squad for the T20I series versus England shapes up. Bhuvneshwar Kumar makes a comeback after having sustained a thigh muscle injury in IPL 2022, while Jasprit Bumrah seems to have been rested. Ravindra Jadeja's injury is still not healed, while Manish Pandey also sits out because of an elbow injury. India's premier 50-over domestic tournament Vijay Hazare Trophy 2021 is underway, and while it has only been a few days since it started, there are already key observations that you can make. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, as the captain of Uttar Pradesh, seemed in control with the ball. While he didn't pick a lot of wickets, he was in control and he was keeping the batsmen in check. Jharkhand's captain Ishan hit a 173 against Madhya Pradesh in blistering style and seems in very good stead. While Prithvi Shaw, who went back to the domestic cricket to regain some form, seems to have regained it already against Delhi, hitting a crucial century, Mumbai winning that game against Delhi. While S. Sreesanth, who was snubbed by the IPL franchises, didn't make it to IPL auctions, has picked up a fifer after 11 years in competitive cricket, picking it up against Uttar Pradesh. And while there'll be much more performances like that, you don't need to worry. You will have all the updates about all of them right here. Your bus challenge for this week is to name one new IPL entrant that you're really looking forward to watch. और ये objective question नहीं है कि नाम लिख दिया बस. Reason भी बताना पड़ेगा. Long answer question है. I'll give you mine. I'm really looking forward to watching Shah Rukh Khan, the big hitter from Tamil Nadu. I've seen some of his knocks and I'm really looking forward to watch him donk the ball really hard. तो अब आंसर का specimen भी आपके पास है. अपने नाम बता दो. #Buzz this week. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, कहीं भी बताओ. बताओ जरूर. That's all that we have for you on this episode of Buzz This Week. Until next week. अरे अब भी नहीं करना था mute. So as I was saying, remember to keep your mics mute because if you thought Shweta was the first one, she wasn't.